this is how I make stir fry. This is my own personal recipe, if you will. I don't really know exactly how much I put. I didn't really measure anything out because I just dash things in there and I just slice it up and shove it in there and do handfuls. Kind of like, I don't know, maybe an old grandma from like 50 years ago or something. So yeah, that's, this is my recipe for a good vegetarian stir fry. I get some rice, which my dad put sunflower seeds in, so basically all I have to do is warm it up. I'm going to use vegetable, and I'm going to do some mushrooms. I'm going to do some broccoli and celery and some romaine lettuce on the bottom to make a bed of lettuce. So I'm going to turn on the fire and put it on low. There we go. My hat just massage my brain. Hey, check it out. The back of my head. The skull and crossbones that my dad and I were talking about earlier, that is on my hat, along with some piercings on the hat. I've always liked this hat. It's pretty cool. I'm wearing a green shirt with brown beads on it and kind of a hippie-ish sort of jacket thing. It's kind of like a trench coat, really, but it's made out of cotton. So yeah, I was wearing a red shirt earlier underneath my black coat when we went down to the store, and now I'm wearing this colorful, like, hippie kind of deal. I don't know. Hey! Anyways, okay. I'm going to chop up some veggies. I don't know how I'm going to chop with one hand. All by myself. So here's some broccoli, and I'm going to get out a knife. I like using these knives that have the serrated edges. I'm not exactly a Betty Crocker or anything like that, but I can cook some things. And I'm trying to chop with one hand, so please don't judge me on my chopping abilities. My dad and I eat the stems also because why not? I mean, it's not going to kill you, and it's nutrition. Just because it's not, you know, the perfect broccoli head doesn't mean that you can't eat it. Okay. So now it sounds like my pan is starting to sizzle, and it feels, I'm not going to touch it directly, but I can just feel the warmth. And we're just going to coat the bottom of this pan with the vegetable oil. You don't need a whole lot, just enough to cover the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and add this broccoli and let that get going. With the stir fry like this, where the rice is pre-cooked, I like to add the vegetables first and let them cook for a little while. Let them just kind of simmer. That way they are kind of soft. But you don't want them to be too soft either. You just want them to be cooked a little bit, but still be relatively firm. And I've got this on low because my stove is a propane stove. Next, I'm going to dig in for some mushrooms. Probably 3 will be about enough. And what I like to do with these is poke them sort of around the base of the stem and sort of make a hole so that the stem will pop right out of there. That's what I'm hoping to try to do. Don't ever try this at home. You might cut yourself. I'm going to finish cutting these mushrooms to add to my pan over there. The before the broccoli gets to be too well done. I don't know if you know this, if you've seen it in any other vlogs. I can't remember if I've mentioned it yet or not, but I am a vegetarian. I still wear leather stuff, so it's not like some kind of political thing. I just have ate meat all my life, and I heard about vegetarianism, and so I decided to try it, and it feels good. I decided that I liked it. It makes me feel healthy, and so I think I'll probably be vegetarian for the rest of my life. Now this is really sizzling over here, and I'm going to add the mushrooms very carefully, hopefully. And I'm going to put the lid back on so it doesn't splatter me in the face. Kind of mix things around in here. And I have it on low. I mean, it's even less than low. It's like pretty much as low as it can go without being out. Look at that flame. Can you even see it? It's just a little tiny blue flame. And it's spittering and sputting like that. The next thing that I want to add to my stir fry is the celery. Now, I've learned from my dad that it's best to cut the celery at an angle like this. So, oh look, there's a little piece of mushroom stem I forgot to put in there. So I'm going to give that a try and see how it goes. I should have actually added the celery before I did the mushrooms, because mushrooms are a little softer than broccoli and celery, but I think it'll be alright. That's probably enough celery, I think. A little slice of quite a few different ones. How many? Somebody count and leave a comment how many stalks of celery are in this bundle, because I don't really have the time to do it right now. I gotta put this in here, but I'm curious to see about how much you think of the celery that I've added to my stir fry, because I don't really know. And now and I'm gonna let that cook for just a couple of minutes while I put all this stuff away, and then I will add the rice. So it's all flowing along relatively smoothly so far. Okay, there we go, I got it. Now I'll put this back. Generally the way that we organize our refrigerator is we put all the vegetables in one of the drawers on the bottom, and then we put all of the fruits over on the other side. So that's generally how we do that. So I'm not going to have to cut anything else, so I'm just going to set this aside. And then I'm going to add my rice. So I'm just going to crumble the rice in there with sunflower seeds. I haven't added any seasonings or anything to this yet, as you have probably noticed. My hands are relatively clean because I didn't film it, but I just went to the bathroom and then I washed my hands. So, just because I didn't film myself washing my hands doesn't mean I didn't do that. So now I've got this lovely stir fry that is starting to simmer quite nicely. And I'm going to get a spatula and stir it around a little bit. Ooh. And a little bit of brown doesn't hurt you. Sometimes burnt food with charcoal on it is actually good for you. If you're having trouble with your bowels, for instance, it'll loosen you up so that you don't, so that you're not constipated. So that's looking pretty good. And I'm going to put the lid back on there again. Organic romaine hearts. And I'm going to get some of this going. I have to shut the door. Don't leave your refrigerator open. It kills fish. I'm going to take a few of these romaines. And I'm going to get a plate ready. I don't like any of those. I like these ones that have the apple design on the bottom better. Look at that. Isn't that cool? And I'm probably going to want a little fork to eat this with. So I'll put that on there. And I'm going to stir this. Whoa! Okay. I did not mean to make it bust out of there. But hey, whatever floats your boat, man. Alright, cool. So now, I'm going to rip these romaines and try to do it. I don't like the middle part of these romaine hearts because it's got a lot, really strong flavor of lettuce, and I'm more into the leaves. They're not too strong of a flavor for me, but they got a little bit of flavor, and so I don't eat the stem, but I don't throw it away either. I put it in our organics here, which is now currently overflowing. I'm making a bed of lettuce, shredding the lettuce, oh my. Huh? You like that? I just wrote it. It just came off the top of my head. The shredding the lettuce song. And there's another one. It's not quite a bed of lettuce, but it's getting there. It's getting there fast. And I was thinking about adding cheese to this stir fry, but then I thought to myself, nah, because the Asian people do not really like dairy products that much. So I'm going to stay true to how an Asian would actually make this dish, because that's the best way to do it. I mean, obviously. So that's how I'm going to do it. Yeah, that's good. That's pretty much a bed of lettuce right there, don't you think? So I'm done with that part. And let's see if I can zip this bag back up. As you may have noticed, I don't know if I didn't really film that. I just now turned the heat off because it's been on low for a while, and I'm pretty sure that the rice is warmed up in there. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna add my Chinese 5-spice, which has anise. It's got cinnamon, it's got star anise, cloves, and ginger. And so it doesn't have any salt, which I think is a good thing, that it doesn't have any salt. I know in a lot of stir-fry dishes they put soy sauce, but I'm just not really into it because it has a lot of salt. So I'm going to add my Chinese 5-spice right now. Well, it's still warm, but it's not cooking. That way the flavor of the spice will be able to be tasted, because if you add really delicate herbs and spices to a dish while it's still frying or boiling or whatever it is, however it's cooking, then it's really hard to taste the the herb. So that's why I'm gonna add it now, because it's now done cooking, and I'm gonna stir it a little bit. That way it gets mixed into all the vegetables, the broccoli, the mushrooms, and the celery, and it gets stirred into the rice and gives the rice flavor. This is pretty good rice. It's fairly organic, and it's jasmine rice, which means that it's got a flavor. Got a pretty good flavor even just by itself. And so now I'm gonna just leave the lid on there for a moment and let everything settle in. Let those herbs settle into the food. It'll be nom nom nom. Nom 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 nom. So yeah. If I had tofu, I would totally add that in there as well. And I was thinking about adding some egg, but then I thought to myself, nah, I wasn't in the mood for egg, but you can add egg to it if you'd like. That would be ridiculous. So now I'm going to take my stir fry and I'm going to pour it over the top of my bed of lettuce. Look at that. Doesn't that look great? I think it looks fantastic. And I'm going to scrape out everything that's left in this pan too. Try to knock it onto the plate. Uh-oh. There goes my fork. And now I'm going to eat it. Yeah, it's about the right temperature. Let's give it a try. I'm gonna get a bite of rice and mushroom. I'm gonna have to flip the screen around so I can see if I'm filming myself or not. And okay, there I am. Down the hatch it goes. Yeah, that's pretty good. Maybe you should go eat something healthy. Maybe something like this. You could try to make this yourself if you'd like. It's pretty good. Broccoli. Alright. Perfect. I'm really gonna go. I hope you guys, whatever you have eaten today, is as healthy as what I have eaten. And I hope that you all have had a perfect day. So now it's time to say goodbye.